from the Gita, the most popular verse, like Rajinikanth's dialogues, that popular, punch dialogues. But whenever something becomes extremely popular, it becomes distorted also. That's a side effect always. Yoga has become extremely popular, therefore distorted, diluted. So, this is an extremely popular verse, and it has some very fundamental distortions. Before going into the distortions, one small correction. In Sanskrita, for that matter even in Hindi, there is no fa. There is no letter fa in Sanskrita and Hindi. That is not karma phala. It is pa and pa. It is Mahaprana, that is all. Don't have to make it fa. There is no fa in Hindi also. Gulab ke phool ko phool mat banaiye. You know who said that? You know who said that? Amitabh Bachchan. If he says, at least you should listen. So there is no fa, don't pronounce in Sanskrit wherever that word comes, wherever that letter comes, don't pronounce it as a fa. There is no fa in Sanskrit. There is a sound fa, it will come in several contexts, but there is no letter for fa. Okay, now there are two fundamental distortions in this verse. Maybe I will cover one of it today. One misunderstanding is in relation to the word Adhikara. Unfortunately, the wrong meaning has been given there in the translation. In Sanskrita, in the entire Sanskrita language, there is no word for hak. There is no word at all. It may come to you as a surprise. In the entire Sanskrita Vangmaya, in the language itself, there is no word for hak or rights. In all other languages, we have a word. This is my right. This is my hak. In Sanskrita, there is no word for it. Adhikara does not mean hak. That is a later distortion which people made. We started using the word Adhikara as hak, but Adhikara does not mean rights. There is no word for it in Sanskrit at all. Adhikara means a slightly different thing. It is slightly different, but if you start analyzing it, you will start seeing more and more differences. Adhikara means eligibility. Adhikara means qualification. It does not mean right. When people say that you have, in Sanskrit texts, when they say you have the Adhikara for this, you are an Adhikari for this, they mean that you have the eligibility for this. It doesn't mean that somebody is giving you a right to do something. See, whenever you speak of rights, it invariably means that it has been given to you by someone. It is an agreement between a group of people. This is my right, this is your right. And rights have to be protected by someone, by the police or by the law enforcement, whatever. Rights, whenever you speak of rights, hak, there is a demanding sense and there is a protecting sense. You have to demand your rights and somebody has to protect it if it is not fulfilled. Rights are always bestowed upon you by an authority, constitution or whatever. Like this freedom of speech is your right. It is not given by some god, it is given by the constitution. Constitution says you have this right, these rights. So it is an agreement between a group of people, what are our rights, what we can do to run the society smoothly. So rights comes into picture when there is an authority giving you something. Whereas eligibility is yours, nobody gives you that. Eligibility is what you develop. It is completely yours to claim. It is not that you go to somebody and claim your eligibility. No, you develop eligibility. Because you have certain eligibility, people may give you some rights. Rights comes next, eligibility comes first. Eligibility is more fundamental than hak. Eligibility is more fundamental than rights. When we forget this, if we start giving more importance to rights, if we forget that previous step of eligibility, then without having the eligibility, you will start getting the rights. See, when rights are laid down in the constitution or in a particular institute or whatever, they have to obey a very strict framework. Rights will be decided based on certain criteria. It will never take into consideration some well-refined variables. They will never take into consideration some subjective aspects. See, I'll give you a very simple example. Constitution says, I don't know, I've not read, but perhaps somewhere it is said that after the age of 18, you have the right to marriage. Yes. So it is a very blunt rule given that when you have the age, when you have reached the age 18, after the age of 18, you have the right to marry. Does it mean everyone above the age 18 has the eligibility to marry? Are you understanding my question? Or are you busy with your smartphone? Smartphone also same thing. Everyone has the right to have a smartphone. Do you have the eligibility to use it? Do you have the sensibility to use it? No, you are addicted to it. So everywhere, rights, if they are fulfilled, without eligibility being fulfilled, everyone will suffer. Marriage is the best example for it. The best example on the planet for difference between eligibility and rights is marriage. How many people do you think, how many people who are getting married, you think, have the eligibility for marriage? See, when we speak of, when Constitution says, after the age of 18, you have the right to marry, they are looking at some eligibility. They are looking at your physiological eligibility. Okay, physiologically you have certain eligibility, therefore you may marry. But this right to marriage will not take into consideration so many other eligibilities. Just because you have certain hormones in your physiology, just because you have some money with you, does not mean you have the right to marry. It does not mean that you have the eligibility for marriage. You may get the right to marry because you have certain hormones in your system, because you have some money with you. People may give you the right to marry, but you have to think whether I have the eligibility. Eligibility to marry will take into consideration so many other aspects. Married people, my friends, usually make this joke about marriage themselves. What they say is, for every endeavor, for any, even a simple project, before you go into that project, you will have some basic knowledge given about it. You will be given some training, some education, some knowledge transition, something will be given before you go into a certain project. You tell me, before you jump into the ocean, suppose you have to go into the ocean. Before jumping into the ocean, what should you learn? You should learn swimming. If you don't learn swimming and if you simply say, jumping into the ocean is my right, okay, jump. No problem, nothing will happen. Then you will gasp for breath, drown, whatever, you will struggle. So, okay, it is your right to jump into the ocean, you jump. But you don't have the eligibility yet, because you don't know how to swim. So, why I gave that example is, even if you have to go into the ocean, you should have certain eligibility, you should have undergone some training, some education, something. But, before going into Samsara Sagara, absolutely no training. Just go and jump. And then somehow gasp for breath, hold his head and push him down and come up, or put her head and you come up, something. Somehow manage to breathe. And people think it is normal. People think, I will learn swimming after jumping into the ocean. I will learn how to live in marriage after marrying. This is nonsense. You should have some basic eligibility before you get married. It will, don't ask me what the eligibilities are. You think about yourself, you ask some married people, they will tell you. Very well, they will tell you. You should have some diplomatic eligibilities. You should know how to handle your ego, the other person's ego. You should have some emotional training. Nothing is happening. Simply people are going and jumping into marriage. Why? I have the right to marry. I am age 80, I have some hormones, I will marry. Okay, fine, marry. Everyone will suffer. When you don't have the eligibility but you get the rights to do something, not only you, others around you also will suffer. Everyone will suffer. Therefore, in ancient India, they never even spoke of rights. They didn't even have the word for rights. They just focused on eligibility. Do you have eligibility or not? That's the only thing. If you develop eligibility, you will automatically do it, or you will automatically gain access to something. See, it correlates to another related concept, not exactly. All of you would have watched this movie, Three Idiots. Yes. In that movie, there was one prominent message. You might have forgotten the message, I don't know. You may remember only the jokes on that. There was one prominent message that Amir Khan's character says. He says, you should acquire excellence. You should not run after success. You should run after excellence. You acquire excellence, success will come after you. You don't have to run after success. But the problem is everybody will try to run after success. They will not try to achieve excellence within them. Everybody will try to run after success outside. Whereas if you achieve some excellence, success will come after you automatically. So this eligibility and rights is somewhat related to that. Not exactly, somewhat. So excellence is like developing your own eligibility. You become eligible, success will automatically come after you. Whatever your rights are will automatically come behind you. You will not have to run after rights, claiming that this is my right. So like this, there are many differences between eligibility and rights. But the primary difference is that eligibility is more fundamental. Rights comes later. You should have eligibility and only then you get rights. If you don't have the eligibility and if you get the rights, you will anyway suffer, others around you also will suffer. Therefore, our focus should be more on eligibility, on excellence, not on demanding rights. It applies to everything. Another related concept to that, again related, not one-to-one relation. Don't use too much of your intellect and get entangled in these things. Another related concept to this couplet, in Sanskrit we have this concept, words, dharma and nyaya. Dharma and nyaya. Nyaya means what is legal according to the societal situations. Nyaya means law, according to the legal system, what is right, what is wrong. Whereas dharma means extremely refined concept. You cannot decide dharma in strict rules. You cannot say this is dharma, this is adharma and lay down a rule, universal rule. Dharma will vary from situation to situation depending on the complicated variables that are at play in each situation. So dharma is a subjective aspect and it's a very complicated aspect. It's a well-refined concept. Whereas nyaya is a very blunt concept. Okay, if you do this is lawful, otherwise it is unlawful. It's approximate. All these rights, lawful law, obeying law, all these are approximate. They will never take into consideration all the complexities of life. They are approximate structures to manage society at superficial level. Whereas eligibility, excellence, dharma, these are all fundamental concepts. You cannot decide them as a rule book. These things cannot be decided. Whether someone is eligible for something or not has to be decided on a case-by-case basis. See, for example, if there is a job opening, they will write the eligibility, minimum eligibility criteria, MSc Yoga. That doesn't mean that you have the right for that job. They will interview you further, they will see how you behave, they will see how much you know, and then they will decide whether you are really eligible or not. So MSc Yoga is a basic eligibility. Okay, you have the right to appear for the interview. It will work at a superficial level. The degree as a benchmark will work at a superficial level. But Workability in society will be decided based on whether you are eligible or not, and that is a deeper concept. So, in our Sanskrit ancient texts, they had actually gotten saturated with all these superficial concepts like rights and nyaya and all these things, and only after that they started exploring these deeper concepts. Therefore, for the word dharma, there is no equivalent word anywhere in any other language. It's if you start writing meaning of dharma, that itself will become a thesis. The word dharma is not a word like law. It's not a simple word which you can put the meaning for in a dictionary. So all these words like adhikara and dharma are deeper concepts. So many variables, complicated variables will come into play, and it is subjective. It cannot be put in a book. For dharma and nyaya, I will give you a very simple example. See, suppose you have some money with you. You go to a hotel, you go to a restaurant. Suppose you are not hungry, but you go to a restaurant with your friends for partying or whatever. You go to a restaurant, you order food, you are not hungry, still you order food, because that is the mood, everybody is ordering food, you also order something. Something comes in front of you, you eat for the sake of formality, something you eat, the rest you throw. Legally, nobody can imprison you for it. It is not unlawful for you to buy food and throw. You will say, it is my money, I will do whatever I want. But it is adharma. It may not be anyaya, but it is adharma. So nyaya will not capture you, police cannot catch you for throwing food, nobody can punish you for throwing food. But something will punish you. In the long term, something will punish you, even if the legal system doesn't. Something else will punish you. So anyaya and adharma have, it's a vast difference is there. Anyaya is a very blunt rule. Nyaya and anyaya is decided based on some blunt rules, approximate rules. Whereas dharma, adharma are decided based on case to case basis. They cannot be decided in a book beforehand. So this is one main distortion in this verse. The word adhikara does not mean right. And here the word adhikara is used in an even more fundamental sense. Here he is saying that you have the adhikara for karma. It means your basic nature itself is action. The basic nature of a life form is dynamism. The basic nature of a life form is activity. You cannot be without activity. Activity is your second nature. So here adhikara is used, eligibility is used in an even more fundamental sense, that it is so close to you that you cannot get rid of it. It is your nature itself. You cannot be without activity. The nature of life is activity. The nature of life is flux. Whereas karma phala is not. If I get a chance, I will talk of karma phala. The second distortion in that verse is regarding karma phala. Sab karma phal ko tyag do. This has been told to you and it has been misunderstood completely. In Sanskrit, the word karma phala is used in a very specific sense. It does not mean give up money, give up success, give up that. No, that's all nonsense meaning. It doesn't mean that at all. Karma phala has a very specific meaning in Sanskrit literature. So if I get a chance, we'll look into that.